Hi, everyone. It's Deirdre Morgan, intuitive and empowerment coach, popping in with some quick practical tips for managing and navigating the 13-4 energy field that May 2024 finds us in. Hi, welcome. I'm so happy you have decided to join me. This is such an exciting, dynamic month. It is a turning point. It is some quantum leap, if you can make it, month. It is everything we've sort of been looking for in terms of feeling better, feeling good, energizing. And yet I know many of us aren't. So before I begin, because we've got beaucoup things to talk about, let me please ask you, subscribe to the channel below, please. It's free, this talk, but it would just mean a lot to know that there were people who are really interested in what my message is and appreciating it. So I would love to see you subscribe. And if you'd like to be on my mailing list for the insight letters that are monthly, or the longer Zoom talk, which is 45 minutes monthly, please go to my website, deirdresinsights.com, and sign on. If that doesn't do it for you, text me, okay? Or WhatsApp me. I'm here. Okay, so let's begin. And where do we begin? Oh my goodness. Let's first begin. As you know, I've started to shuffle the deck and pull a card that sort of is a booster, and it sort of indicates what the current month is about, what we could be doing or not doing. It's a guide. And it was very interesting this month because, as you know, it's a 13-4 numerological month. And what does that mean? Well, first off, how do we figure it's a 13 and why is it a 13-4 split? Here's the thing. We are in 2024. If you add up the 2, the 0, the 2, and the 4, you get an 8, which means the universal year frequency is an 8, which is all about creating a new strength, a new power source within us. Yeah. Then we look at the month, the calendar month. And as May is the 5th calendar month of the year, we add that to the 8. 8 plus 5 equals 13. There you have it. Now, in numerology, we normally only recognize the 9 single-digit numbers. So in most cases, when we see a double digit, we add those factors together, 1 plus 3, and we get a 4. That is how I came up with the 13-4 vibrational field for this month. And what's that all about? Well, hang on a minute. I want to back up a bit and let's do a little outside thinking. Okay? As you know, I usually pull a tarot card to give support to us and just have a visual image. And I had to laugh because as I was shuffling the deck to pull a card, 2 cards fell out. The first card was this 8 of Swords. Swords of the tarot are the mental suit, your perspective, your beliefs, okay? It's that linear mind. And this card is known as interference. Well, what does that mean? Bottom line, the 8 of Swords indicates that you're at odds with yourself. Something's going on internally. You may have a conflicting belief, or your head and heart maybe struggling with each other, do or do not. Uh, what it really is if the conscious mind is not in sync with the subconscious conditioning, there's that other third possibility for confrontation, for generating confusion, angst. So it's quite possible that many of you will experience some confusion, don't know what's next this month. Yeah. And it's up to you to sort through it, keeping in mind that we now live in new times and we are to tell ourselves new stories and lead a new life, create a new chapter, which is heart based. Keep in mind, heart based, and the heart knows only love. So this is about feeling good with yourself and doing what makes you feel even better about who you are. I love it. I do. And what was the second card that came up? The trump card of lust. Okay, well, now don't get excited or too excited. Okay. Lust in this case means a strong desire to do, to have, to be something. And let's look for a minute at this card. We're looking at a ferocious lion, which symbolizes past woundings, shadow mind, uh, negative behavior patterns, if you like. It's our darker side. But the lion is really Leo, and the lion is lion-hearted, has a big heart. So whatever you face this month in terms of confusion or confrontation, it's there to open up your heart even more, for you to see the wisdom of what you've experienced in life. And you'll notice the maiden is naked, which means she's not covering up. She's taken a good look at herself and she's in her truth. She's laying it all out there and bare. She's in control of the lion. And you'll also notice that both of them are underground, which symbolizes the subconscious mind. What is she doing? She's pushing the grail. It's red, which means that which she loves, and which is breaking through, groundbreaking into the world and holding a beautiful blue light, which symbolizes spiritual love and wisdom. So she's letting her light shine. This card really is saying it's your coming out party. Yeah, you're letting your love, your light, and your joy into the world. And pretty special when you think about the 13-4. And I want you to understand that we always have a choice. And yet the choice is pretty narrow this month. We've just been through an eclipse season. And did it inspire you? Did it motivate you? Did you make any changes or dramatic moves in your life? I really hope you didn't click or hit the panic button, because eclipses are there to just bring up the unseen, something we may not have been aware of, or something we didn't want to deal with, in order for us to take a look at it and embrace it, allow it to be, and yet move past it, okay? So we are on, and I hope you were inspired. I hope you have taken some steps to move in a new direction, or realize you have a new approach or a new attitude, perspective, maybe on life, maybe on yourself. Being willing to be who you are is really what that solar, full, total solar eclipse, I think it was in April, yeah, which was an Aries solar eclipse. And what do we know about Aries? Aries is the planet of action, bold action, requiring great courage and great clarity and commitment. This solar eclipse, this Aries, also had 5 planets in it: Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Chiron. So it was jam-packed. This was a game-changing eclipse or moment in each of our days that really wanted to shift us out of the old and into the new. And I say new because Aries is the first sign in the astrological wheel in the zodiac. So how did you handle the eclipse and the insights you got? How did you resolve any past emotional traumas in your life? How did you handle them? Okay? I'll leave it to you. What I can say to you is I'll trust that you dealt with them, that you sourced whatever mishigas you had to deal with and didn't just ignore it or dismiss it. This is not a time to procrastinate. This is not a time to go into denial. It's not going to work well for you or me, any of us, if we insist on staying in our routine, in our comfort zone, in our schedule, and how we've created. Okay? It just isn't going to work well for us because the message with all these eclipses and planetary influences and the 13-4 is build a new strength, a new power. That will work in the new times. And the new times is heart-based consciousness. Now, we've been over this for years, so I'm not going to go into detail about any more of that. You can check it out on my website. But what's important to remember, because when we're undergoing great transformation and transmutation, which is even deeper energetic changes than transformation, it's good to keep in mind that the head is no longer in the driver's seat. It's in the passenger side right now. We haven't discarded the head. We're just moved the heart into the driver's seat. That's where lead with the heart, back up, follow with smart. The two are beginning to work together. So it's exciting. It's new times, and new times calls for a new story. And what new story have you got? Well, the past is the past. What I want you to do is look at the past and say, what stories am I still telling? Are they stories that were hurtful, wounded, disappointment, maybe unfair? Or do I tell the stories that were uplifting and fun and joyous and the good in my life? Because here's the thing, stories have a profound effect on our present life. And if you and I are still telling the old, this happened to me, poor me, it's not my fault, blah, 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 we are disempowering ourselves. We are minimizing our ability to create, to manifest, to love. So, watch your stories. That's my first quick tip. And if you find yourself rehashing some old disappointment, take a deep breath and say, not today. Or maybe you want to say, I say blessings. And redirect your energy to some activity that makes you feel great or good inside. Okay? I just think this is a wonderful way to live and the way we need to live. Uh, Focus on this message. You're in your heart. The heart knows only love. So make sure you're loving yourself, you're loving your life, and you're loving life in all its facets. Okay? So, what do I want to talk about? The 13. Okay. 13 is a karmic number in numerology. It indicates that in a past life, a person who has a 13 in their contract was a dilettante. What I mean was they were goofball. They had fun. They played. They didn't develop their skills or their talents, God-given gifts, and they just enjoyed themselves. They didn't contribute in any way. So that this lifetime, the person comes back, and this is what everyone has to remember, whether we have a 13 in our spiritual contract or not. They come back and they have to really apply themselves, focus, commit, and contribute for lasting benefit on some level. 13 seeks to make a difference in the world, improve it, better it. And for that reason, the 13 is known as the number of empowerment. It is the most powerful number in numerology. Yeah, it's more powerful than those master numbers we've talked about from time to time, the 11 and the 22. 13 is the God-given, God-self number, okay? It combines the divine feminine with the divine masculine, and it's up to the person to find that balance within themselves, because we all have masculine and feminine in us. So, 13, look at it for a moment. The 1 represents source, creator source, the universe, God, divinity. This 1 is straight, singular, strong. It stands upright. 1 is the leader. So the 1 says, you initiate, you innovate, you inspire, you put it out there. 1 begins, 1 supports. It's mental. So there you are. And the hidden message of the 1 is, because it's 1 and so straight and tall, it is self-reliant. 1 knows it's all inside them to source, and it's up to them to do just that. But they're on their own, okay? There's no sidetracking, no diversions, no wiggle room here. It's straight on purpose, on target. Then let's look at that 3, which is all about the love, the joy, the creativity, the imagination, the playfulness. It's a beautiful number. It's the number, when I'm reading spiritual contracts with people, that everybody wants, because it's the optimist. It imagines and dreams dreams and expresses them, expresses the truth of them. It's a beautiful, emotional, heart-based number. And when 3, the heart, connects with the 1, then we get 4 of manifestation and success. But it's all within. It's an internal process. And we come to meet the God self, that spark of divinity in us that is loving and creative eternally. Now, that's the 13. It's out there. It's got no limits. It just is this joy, this happiness, this love, and it reaches out to the world and every aspect of it. Let's talk about that 4 for a minute, because 4 is the foundational number. 4 is your core. 4 is what you've built on. It's stable. It's organized. It's grounding. It's those aspects, those characteristics and qualities that make us feel safe and secure inside, which is all pretty wonderful. I'm not knocking it. But what can happen is we get very comfortable with it. We just like it. And so routines develop, patterns develop. It's all very structured. And what the issue is, we're not living in structured times. We've moved out of third dimensional, separatist, structured, linear approach to flow, fluidity. And to do that, it takes the heart, not the linear left brain mind. So keep in mind the 13 saying, be in your joy, love yourself, nurture yourself, get clear on what you want to do this lifetime, what your purpose is, what feeds you, your soul. Get clear on those things, and then, by golly, go do it with joy, with love. Express it all. And that is the energy we now must feed that core, that psyche in us. Not for safety and security, but for the love of life. Very different. 4 can get in a rut. So let's take it easy with ourselves. Let's get out of it, right? And 13 is right there saying, let's move, let's go. The action is always based in or on love. Choices now must be made from the heart, from the love. And you will do this according to your personal timeline. We all have a different timeline. We all move at a different pace. We all are doing the best we can. So no comparisons, no looking at where somebody else is or is not. Get yourself out of the energy, out of the need to judge, and let's talk a little bit more. Okay, what are my suggestions? My quick tips for this month. First of all, I think, well, second, I've already given you one tip. First of all, visualization. Visualize the life you'd like to lead. Visualize the person you'd like to be. In other words, what story are you going to tell me a year from now? What success story are you going to tell me as you own, acknowledge, and love, appreciate who you are? So visualization is very important right now. Secondly, I want you to set new boundaries for yourself. Boundaries that are based on your creating joy, what makes you happy, not boundaries that are protecting you, are defensive from the world, from possible danger or harm. Okay? 3, I want you to strengthen your resolve, your commitment. This I'm particularly serious, I guess, about this. And that's because 13, the shadow side of 13, is the critic, is the procrastinator. And also, I don't know how to put it, but it scatters its energy. The minute that 3 goes into doubt, which is either forgetting who it really is, that loving creative force in us, doubt takes over and the energy just fragments. So the third suggestion is strengthen your resolve. When you know what you want, commit. You've clarified your purpose. Now follow it with courage, with love, and with trust. I also would like you, I think it's your 5th quick tip, think long term. 4 plans, organizes, builds a solid foundation. The inner core then manifests out. And this is the part of the 4 frequency I want you to keep in mind because it's practical, it's real, it's down to earth in the sense in how it executes. Okay, so I want you to take that beautiful, creative 13 powerhouse of energy and make it your core by being willing to put it out there long term. Okay. Number 6 is stay in the present. Put your heart and soul into every moment of each day. Okay. Don't go to the past and all those challenges of your upbringing. Go to your past to remember all the joyful, happy times. If there weren't any, I am so sorry. Don't go to the past. And don't go to the future, the what if or maybe. Keep in the present. Put your heart and soul in it. Watch your words. You know how I am about words. And if you don't, there's a book called Heart Speak. It's on Amazon. It's all about using words that are constructive, that create ease, flow, grace in your life. Okay? And last but not least, choose relationships that are supportive. And by that, I mean people who cheer you on or can be happy for your success, for your accomplishments. I tell my clients 3 qualities. Is the person supportive? Is the person kind? And is the person honest? Now, you may have 1 or 2 different words you'd like to use. Go ahead, go for it. But have people in your life that will support you being the best version of yourself, will support as you navigate through the chaos, the confusion, and even the pain of what you used to be. Okay? We are making enormous shifts and changes in ourselves. And probably one of the most important blocks or saboteurs for our just going right along with it is the difference between getting it right and getting it. Okay. And what do I mean? Well, we can't always find the right answer. We can't always be right every day. However, we can always continue. We can always be right in continuing to believe in ourselves above all else. That's it. You get that down. I get that down. We're set. So be willing to reach out, make changes, do it differently. There may be a misstep. There may be, learn from it and keep moving. Keep believing in you. Allow yourself to really be who you are. The 13 is calling you. 13 is wanting you. It's propelling you. to a new approach, to a new you in life. So it is time to call in the new horizon, the next chapter in your life. I hope these practical tips will be of help to you, will be of support, and will keep you propelling yourself into a new life that, whatever it may be, warms your heart, allows you to be more your best version, allows you to give out in the world and make that difference. So we do experience peace. We do experience joy. We do connect with each other, even though we have individual choices and ways to express who we are. This is a dynamic month. And these tips I've given you, this 13-4 energy, you will be working with it for the next couple of months. It's not going to end May 31st. It's filtering already to June. And there'll be a reason for that, which we'll talk about next month. Okay? And I think that's it. I think I've covered all the bases. I just want you to realize this is an exciting time. Move beyond your past. 13, it isn't about thinking outside the box. Realize with 13, there is no box. There's only you and your unlimited potential. So go have a great time. Use that 3 to have fun and be playful and express all the love and joy you really do hold in your heart. I'm here. I'm Deirdre Morgan, and I say it's all about love. Everything else is incidental. God bless. I'll hope to see you next month. And if you think of it, subscribe to this YouTube channel for the fun of it. It's free. And if you know people who might enjoy it, benefit from it, bring them on. I'd love it. Do take care and stay well. Next month, for sure. I left out a couple of very important suggestions I wanted to make simply because they are inspiring, they are fun and lighthearted. And my first suggestion is this book, The Cat Who Taught Sam, by James Norbury. I picked this up when I was in Cohasset recently. It's a delightful book. It's simple. It reminds you of everything you already know, but it's done in such a charming, exquisite way with wonderful, charming illustrations. Easy read, but it's a great gift if you have a grandchild or a child, or you want it for yourself, or someone you know is just getting into consciousness. I want to recommend this book. This really, it does inspire you. It just expands how good you can feel about yourself after reading this book. And my second suggestion is to go on Instagram and look for a talk, an interview that was given to with a friend of mine about her life and what was important and the risk she had taken when she was quite young in going to Paris on her own, hopping on the subway, meeting a group of nuns, asking them if they had a mass, and they said yes, and asking them if they had a place she could stay because she landed in Paris without any hotel reservations. And they said yes. She was there to meet a very fine mime whom she was loved and wanted to work with. It's a wonderful, wonderful, truthful, honest story about someone who's lived taking quantum leaps based on pure faith, pure love, and pure joy. And I encourage you all to go find it. Instagram will love you, and I will love you because it gets my points across with the kind of exploration and experimentation we need to live by now. So look into it. If I haven't given you enough information, text me, email me, deirdresinsights@gmail.com, or WhatsApp me. I'm happy to point the way. I will even forward the interview, which was taken on Santa Monica Beach, to you. But these are two very inspirational and I think well worth your time choices to make. That's it. That's all for now. Love you. Take care. Next month.